It is so nice to see the Jones family again.
Amen.
And it's great to be able to have both sides of your family here, your mother's side and your father's side, and for them to get along. So you can consider yourself blessed.
Amen.
And y'all have always been so nice and welcoming us. I had a great time today. Everything is perfect. So that means a lot. It really means a lot. And I thank Gilbert and Gail and Jim and his wife, even though she didn't bring my pajamas. I thank them for coming and showing family support, because you know what? That really means a lot. And I told Joe earlier that I really appreciate him with my cousin, because I know that he was right there all the way through.
Amen.
And I also want to thank him because Dina and I stay hours on the phone, and he always watch the kids. So I really appreciate that. But no, this has really been great. I would like to see the family get together more and more, and I think someone had mentioned it already, the more we get together, the more we learn each other, the better our relationships come. And there is a great work that needs to be done, that God has, I just believe, appointed unto this family. With Melinda and Sam, and now I understand about Bethel, because Dee was telling me the church that they had was St. Paul's. I said, but I remember Bethel. I said, I don't know why that name Bethel just sticks with me. Dee, are you sure that's the name of the church? But now I understand why. Now, it was Bethel first, and then it was St. Paul. But I just knew, you know how sometimes you know things about your family, but you just don't know how it fits in. And that's why it's good to get together, because you really don't know where you're going until you know where you come from. You know, you have to have that validation. You know, spiritual validation is fine, but let's face it, we live in regular bodies. We have to get along, we have to know where we're going and what we're doing. I was really impressed with Tiny and Sam when one of my daughters was really turned 16, and I didn't stay in the church. I just want to say this: I didn't stay in the church. I left the church and I did what I wanted to do. I had a great time. It's the truth, you know. Right, you know, tell the truth.
You really want a miserable life of sin, but
it does have some consequences.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Miserable results.
But no, just saying that, you know. But when I did go back into the church, the first time I went back to church and received Christ the second time. Because, you know, my mother wasn't, well, for those who don't know, my mother was a pastor, so it was sort of, I was raised up in the church.
The burning bush.
Really, my mother's church was a burning bush, but I was raised up in Mother Horn's church. And Jessie herself was my godmother. So, you know, even before I came into existence, they had prayed that I would come and that I would be a girl. So they knew that. So my life was already charged.
That's right.
You know, so the girl, this is what we want. They prayed for it. She's here. Name's going to be Phoebe, and this is what she's going to do. Okay, fine. But I just wanted to say that I thought it was so great that what you teach a child, they eventually come back to.
Yeah.
And even though I did what I wanted to do, it wasn't like I was really, really bad, son. I just did what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wasn't hurting anybody. Just myself.
Same thing.
You know, just myself. You know, but I realized that, you know, I said, wow, you know, I have these girls, and I was brought up in church, and I was like, my mother would kill me if she knew,
Right.
like she didn't know. I know, and resurrect me, you ain't lying. If she knew that they were not being raised up in church. And when my daughter Mania started to turn 16, I kept having this reoccurring dream. And the reoccurring dream that I had, and the things that were being told to me in the dream was about a covenant. And it blew me. And I kept saying, what is this? You know, and it bothered me. And I went to my pastor and I talked to him, and he was like, well, I don't know about a covenant. And I was like, but I keep seeing this. And about that time, God sent, again, my cousin, Caradine, to me. And she's no longer with us, but I really thank God for her. And she started talking to me about the covenant. I was like, wow, I had this dream. And she keeps saying, oh yeah, we have a great grandmother who said this, who said that. And she prayed. And she prayed for hours. Not family that are children, that are children's children, and their children would serve God. And I was like, are you serious? And I was like, the more I see it in the dream, the more I wanted to do it. And she helped me do what I saw in the dream. And I thank God for that. Not knowing, now even with Tiny and Sam, with their kids, the prayers that they prayed has now fallen on their children.
Amen.
And their children's children.
Amen.
And sometimes we don't understand
That's right.
how come we can go all the way around the block
Come
and
right
then
back to
come
us.
right back to the
That's
church.
right. Uh-huh.
Because I realized that woman was serious.
That's right.
And when Gilbert was talking about 1862, I said, Lord, they was praying for us way back then. We ain't got no choice but to do God's will. And I do feel very strongly that God is drawing us together because there's something that He wants from us.
Right.
I don't know if it's the commitment that our forefathers had, where they prayed for hours and stayed up in church and they prayed and got their prayers answered. But there's something that I feel collectively that we've got to come together and do. So I just wanted to say I thank Dina. This is a lovely idea. I will be with you again. Anything I can do to help you, I got it. I want to thank the Jones family again. Like I said, I really appreciate y'all. I want to thank my family from North Carolina. When you come up to New York, definitely give me a call, let me know you're there, so I can, make sure I'm around. I hope you don't need no bail money, because I ain't got no money.
But you can pray.
We can become all the time.
Come on now.
But this is really great what Dina is doing. Anytime anybody has anything that they want to get together and do, we're more than happy to do it because we are family. And I really do thank God that Tiny and Sam got together and prayed so long. Because you know what? Their prayers and that covenant, even though like I was in New York and never really heard of it or whatever, it shows you how God still works.
Yeah.
And how He makes sure that you do what He wants you to do, your purpose. So I hope we just go forward. No, we will go forward. Amen. We will be going forward. We're going to get together and we're going to become on one accord. And we're going to do exactly what God has planned for us because Tiny, Sam, and Jamesdale work must continue.
Amen.